Okay. So yes, questions, please. What are the kind of questions you should ask her to understand what kind of company she wants to run?
One of the questions I'll ask her, what is her vision? What is the vision of the company and the mission, their mission statement? Because the vision will help them to be able to work in accordance to what the mission of the company is.
Okay. Yes. What other questions should we ask her? Yes. What other questions are we going to ask her? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Okay. So what other questions could we ask? Is Fola saying something?
No, it's
Yes. Think about it. We are trying to understand the kind of company she wants to build. So what questions are we going to ask her?
I don't know if you can ask if she has maybe rules and regulations for the have to be guided
Oh
by.
God.
Come again?
If she has rules and regulations for the company, for the staff to work with, that can guide them.
Okay. Okay. So is that all? Is that all we have? So we are asking questions like, what's the
No, no,
expectation?
no.
Go on, go on.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was still on the organizational structure before we ended the other meeting. Yeah, I
Okay.
was thinking, um, is there a current organogram present in the organization?
Yes. Correct.
Which uh, which person has which authority over the other person, and who has the responsibility? Who does this person report to? And then also questions like, what are the KPIs that we use to evaluate the employees to know if they're doing their job like efficiently, or um, also how are we going to evaluate maybe periodically, how are we going to evaluate if we've had progress over time? um
Okay.
are we working on targets, or are we just, you understand, Sha? I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
Perfect. Beautifully said. But it's not the manager's, it's not the MD or the CEO's job to tell you, give you the KPIs or give you what specific, yes, specific indicators that will know that okay, this person has done met the target. What you can ask is what is expected. You're going to ask the person, okay, what are the roles you have? Yes, we have an accountant, we have this. What's your expectation? What do you expect that, okay, accountants do? Not specific details per se, but like what accountant, oh, ensure that money saves money for me, money is well spent, I'm not wasting money and everything, and can give me a proper this thing at the end of the month. With that general knowledge, we're now able to create HRO. It's your job to create a KPI. Praise. It's your job to create the KPIs that will fit into. So yes, then
Okay.
okay. For the customer, I just want this person to ensure that everybody that speaks with her understand that, oh, we care about our clients and everything. That's the goal for this. So yeah, it's your job to not create the KPIs to fit into that. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I understand.
Not necessarily the CEO is not going to give me, oh, then the person already doing the job. Why does she need us? Do you understand? Yes, she
Mm,
already has a general
yeah.
idea. Okay, this is what I need my accountant to do. This is what I need myself. My marketer should be able to, do you understand? Get me clients every month at least or something. So that's really a broad expectation that we have to ask him, and then we use that to get our KPIs for the role. So yes, but for organogram, current organogram, good. And then for also we work the organogram, we have to understand the current company's process. What's the process like? They get the goods. Do they manufacture the goods? If they don't manufacture it, once they get it, do they have a warehouse? They store it in the warehouse. So what's the process of getting clients? When they get clients, how do they make orders? How do they place the orders? Does it go through the CRM? Does she now write it down in a notebook or in a system, in their software, and then tells what's the current process like? Do you understand? We have to understand what the current process is. So we're able to detect, this is not going well. It should not be like this. We have to understand what the current process is. That's very important. Is that how we can know, oh, okay, these people, we need to make an adjustment. Or that's how we can also know how to structure our organogram, because we have to know each role and what each role does in the organization. Yeah? Okay. So after we have, so let's assume that we have asked all the questions we need to ask. We need to ask the MD, what do we do next? Now we've gotten all our responses. We know the vision, we know all the roles, we know the current process, we know the current organogram. What do we do next? Still boils down to what Praise said. When I talked about gap analysis, I talked about two ways, right? So now we have spoken with the manager or the CEO rather. Now we have to speak with the staff individually. So we're going to have a session with the staff individually, get to know them, their role in the company, what the day-to-day is like for them, what do they do every day. Oh, can we mute, please? I'm the one that answers the call in a day. When I come in, once I come in the morning, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. We have to have that for the role. And then ask them concerns, what's stopping them from, is there anything stopping them? Is there anything they need management to do to help them do their job better and all? We have to have that personal with the staff too. That way we're able to know what is obtainable. Okay, we are going to know, with that we're going to know what we have on ground and then what we need to get to where we need to go. Don't forget, we already have where we need to go. Now we're just trying to get the gap between what is currently happening and what we need to happen. Once we get that gap, we'll now know what to do. So we need to speak with both the manager, the MD rather, and then the staff to know the items missing that we need to close up to get to point B, which is our destination. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We have to respond. So I know that I'm not speaking to myself.
Yes, it does.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So official. Once we've had the gap analysis done, what are the things you think we know? Then after the gap analysis and all, we can now start, writing the policies that will combine into the handbook, what is expectations, late coming, attendance policy, leave management, KPI. We can now have all those down. Another thing we have to do is rewrite everybody's job description. Why? Because we have to go from point A to B. So our new job description has to reflect point B. Okay, so we now have to rewrite everybody's job description and add key performance indicators, their KPIs. So we now have to add, so everybody knows this is now what is expected going forward. Any questions so far before we continue?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Okay. If a company has like 500 staff, 500 employees, How do you think it will be cumbersome calling each and every one of them one after the other, or it's not better to like get a questionnaire to pass around and then you'll be able to analyze that questionnaire? Because for me, I think calling 500 staff one after the other is tiring. So that's why I'm asking, how would you like carry out such questioning of the staff? It's not easy to use. It's not better to make it of questionnaire. That's just my question.
All right. So, yes, correct. Very correct. Very correct. Use questionnaires. But personally, yes, if I have 500 staff, I would prefer to speak with everybody one-on-one. The thing is, I'm not going to do it alone. And I don't have to be there physically. Okay? And don't forget, this is not something that is going to be done in 1 month. Takes a while to do. So it's not something that we're going to do in 1 week and then we have done everything. No. So we're going to get a timeline. Okay, we're going to do this in 3 months, or okay, let's say 3 months. So first of all, so we're not in a hurry. So we've had our schedule. Okay, the first month, let's get everything from these people. I'm not going to interview everybody myself. We're going to get a team of people. So, okay, these are the pointers I need to need. There's something about speaking with people face to face, like even if it's virtually. Personally, okay, there's just something about speaking with people. You're able to get some things from them that you're not able to get from questionnaires. I'm not saying questionnaires are bad. That's one of the quickest way you can also use that. But this is my preference. Okay? This is my preference.
Yeah.
Yes, this is my preference. I'm not saying that's my preference. So yes, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a team of people that will do this. We already have an idea. Okay, this is the basic, but this is what we need from every staff. Blah 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 blah. So I think at the same time, wherever we are, let's say we have 1 month to do, 2 weeks to do 500 people. How many team of people do I need to do it? How many do I need to do a day? So we are in 1 hour we can cover. Okay, if I have 10 persons with a 10-man team in 1 hour, meaning we can cover at least 10 people. Let me say if it takes, let's just say 1 hour for one person. So meaning in 1 hour, we can cover 10 persons in a day. Yeah. Do you understand what I mean? So it's not that I'm going to now be doing everything, all 500 persons myself. No, I'm not going to do that. But there's something about speaking with people one-on-one. Some other things will not come up from what you have said now, will not ask something else, and then I get you understand that scenario. So yes, it's never going to be physical, it can be virtual, but it's going to be seeing you, and yes, you can see me too. Yes. Remember, that's my preference. That's my preference, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? Come again. Hello, any other question? All right. So gap analysis, we have to do the role redesign, meaning getting job descriptions, rewriting everybody's job description to fit the goal and all, then getting clear KPIs, and then reporting line. That is very key because like everybody has said, if there's nobody supervising, everybody's going to go back to status quo after a while. So there has to be someone supervising, very important. Even if they have a sign-in and sign-out device, they still need someone to supervise every other thing. Yes. So for the second stage of the work, we cannot create work process. Remember I asked about the current work process, so we cannot probably redefine the work process, daily workflow, how the distribution process should go, how the daily reporting or some weekly reporting should be. There should be something like that, a weekly report or even a daily report. Okay, this is what I did today, or this is what I did this week. There should be a reporting structure like that. So, excuse me. Then the third phase of the work will now be developing a handbook with policies and SOPs. We know what SOPs are, right?
No, please, what's SOP?
Standard operating procedures.
Okay.
So policies tells you this is what is, tells you that, okay, this is what we do here. This is what we do here. Policy, attendance, you have to be early, blah, 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 or leave. You have policy, you have 23 days or 25 days of leave in a year, blah, 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 the details about it. And SOP and I give you details how. If you want to not take leave, what's the process like? Oh, I have to first of all write a letter to HRO. I have to then wait and send it to this person. How do we do that? If I have to, SOPs tells you the process from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4 to step 5. I want to apply for overtime bonus. What do I need to do? The form needs to be with CRM, what was it called? Staff will need to tell their manager. Staff need to get the form, fill it, give it to their manager. Manager has to approve that, oh, these people actually worked overtime, and then send to HRO. When they're sent to HRO, HRO now do this, blah, 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 until the overtime bonus is paid. So step-by-step process with those things. That's what SOP means. That's just a practical explanation of what SOP is. Is that clear?
Yes,
Hello? Okay. And then after we have done all this, the gap analysis, the designing organogram, creating the handbook and policies, job description, KPIs, and everything, what's the next thing? What do you think the next thing would be? Yeah? What's the next thing? What do you think the next thing should be? I've drafted everything. I've drafted the policies, everything. I've drafted everything. Is ready. Everything is ready. What's next?
The restructuring starts. That's personnel.
You share it to the employees.
Okay.
You do
share it
like
to
a
them
memo
how?
or something.
I
Like you can do like a memo to them, or if it's like
there
a
should
handbook,
be
maybe if it's rewritten, you make sure
Okay.
it is shared among them. Send
Okay.
a memo like that, and make sure everybody gets like a copy or sees it. Know that okay,
Okay.
this is what we are working on
Okay.
and working
All right.
with.
All right. Who else has something to add? Yes? We all agree with Blessing. His prayer is trying to say something.
Yeah, I was trying to say something before.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was saying like there should be a meeting, kind of like a forum for awareness to give them a brief, like a brief training on what's going on. Like this is what's happening in the company now, and then this is what we should expect, and then things like that before implementing those policies. Like just to make them aware of the process. Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other person?
I think I would say that once everything is done, maybe before the training, they can, if it is an organization that has like maybe management, there can be a management review. And if there's still anything that maybe they are not pleased with or that needs proper maybe restructuring and arrangement, they can note it before they can now do maybe training for the staff members.
Okay. Thank you so much. So yes, of course, we're not creating this for ourselves. After creating it, we'll not have to present what we have created to the MD, blah, 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 explain, okay, this is it, this is it, this is it. There are some things she will agree with. There are some things she will not agree with. But to curb that thing, for every process, don't wait to the end to let her know. So for every process, or in this process, let the reviewing be going stage by stage like that. So at the end, it's not so much that you have to change. But yes, after in this case, the MD, so if she wants to run it by any other person, that's not on her. They should not give us the feedback and see what we're working on, what we are changing or we're not changing. Yes, thank you for that. So after that, you said implementing. Thank you. And blessing. Yes, I understand that we should do a memo and everything, but we need a training, like Praise said. See, once people are used to something, you can't come and change it like that. It's not going to, there's going to be a lot of resistance. This is when did this one start? There's going to be a lot of resistance. So you have to be able to curb that resistance, because once you have high resistance from the start, it's a concern. It's a very big concern. So our job as HR now is to ensure that we're enforcing all these plenty policies with minimal resistance. And one way to do it is by training. So we call everybody together. They have to know that, oh, okay, this is why we want to do better. You don't want to, so the company can make more money, blah, 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 blah. Just tell them why the aim of doing this. We want to go from point A, point B. You don't necessarily have to tell them that because they are not doing well. Even if that's one of the major issues, right? But we want to be able to compete with the other FCMGs in Rivers, let's say in Rivers State for a start. So for us to be able to compete with those ones, we need to, be a certain way, blah, 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 blah. And then we softly bring in all this, explaining it to them. Let them ask questions one by one. After I explain this policy, but let them ask questions. Let them react to it in the training. Oh, now we are going to be closing by 8 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. Why? Let them ask why. Blah, 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 blah. They should ask, they should react to everything. So you have to make sure that they understand everything. They should ask them questions, even as we're going. So that's how you're going to do that. Give a review of all the new, not both new, both old, or whatever, all the policies, train them on the policies again, and then the new reporting system, then the role expectations, the new role expectations and the KPIs and everything. That's where that reward we talked about, was it blessing and praise, reward comes in. So that also helps to minimize all the, because it's going to be a lot of work now. They've been putting 1% effort. Now we want them to put 8% effort. Of course, so they're doing more than they used to. So that's where the reward comes in. So whatever we have to do, we have to ensure that there's reward. Maybe you cannot reward them monthly. So probably it's not quarterly. At the end of the quarter, you meet your quarterly KPIs, you're going to get this. But we need to throw in some rewards here and there. And in the training, put the reward, let them know that, okay, these people that will do this, blah, 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 they'll get this, they'll get this. But that training is important. It will help people. You can't just send them an email. Everybody, blessing you. They sent you email for change of this thing. All of it, everybody was complaining. Why are you complaining? Why did they change the exam venue? Blah, 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 blah. Just imagine that they had a Zoom meeting to say, oh, we are changing the exam venue because this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. Don't you think people would take that information better? Hello?
Okay, yes, I will. I was talking, my mic was muted. Yes.
Okay.
So better, yes.
Exactly.
Now you get a clearer picture.
Yes. So that way, yes, we know that this is majorly because they've been non-challenged and everything, but we don't have to put it that way per se. Yes, we can say that, oh, we want to be able to compete with all these other FCMG companies. But where we are now, we're not doing enough, blah, 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 as a company, blah, blah, blah. So you just have to put it in a way so they can say, okay. They will even be seeing reasons why, yes, that's true, they need to step up. Because at the end of the day, the truth is, once a business is doing well, the staff gets to enjoy it too. For people with organization with sane bosses though. True or false?
True.
True.
So you now have to present all this so that we can minimize resistance. If you just send a mail, that's even if they have mail, that's one thing I say we still have to confirm. If you just send a mail and everything, there'll be a lot of resistance. They will not, that's why you see they will have a they will have, what do we do? By the time everybody they will plot how to resist the change as a group. So please don't send a memo. When you're doing major change like that, please don't send a memo at all. If they had a manager, okay, they don't have a manager, but don't send a memo, please. Training, speak with them one-on-one. After everything is ready and we're ready to implement, speak with them one-on-one. Everybody, not one-on-one, rather, speak with them as a group, talking about the new policies, the new expectations, why we need to do this, importance of doing this, what is going to bring us if we do this. You have to do all those things so that there will not be a lot of resistance. You cannot cancel resistance. That's just the truth. You cannot 100% cancel resistance, but this will help to reduce rather the resistance a whole lot. So that's the end of and of course, that's not the end. After that, we have to keep checking. After doing that and the thing officially starts implementing, now they know they have to come, somebody is checking and reporting. You have to, as HR, your job does not end there too. You also have to, you also have to review the implementation. Okay, it's been 2 weeks. How has it gone so far? What are the concerns? What are the blah, 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 blah. So you know, okay, how it's going, what if there's something that needs to be changed, that needs to be done to blah, 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 or how we can get them to accept it better. You have to keep reviewing like that for another 2-3 months and so on before you can officially, because now we're not their in-house HR. They want us to be their HR, that's a different case. But for this project, can I give a 3 months timeline after that training, after the implementation starts? 3 months before we can say, okay, that's it. Any question?
No, not for me.
All right. So what are the documents we need to prepare from everything we have said today?
SOPs, KPIs.
Okay.
Policies.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think you said something about job description and
Yes.
roles.
Yes.
Yes, then the organogram as well.
Yes.
Then um, employee handbook. We need to get that too as well.
Yes.
Um,
What else?
okay, can I ask something?
Yes, please go
Since
on.
we're restructuring,
Mm-hmm.
since we're restructuring, do we need to have like a separate document of the business goals, like what we're aiming to achieve, or is that going to be in the employee handbook?
Come again.
Yeah, I said since we are restructuring, are we going to have a separate document of the business goals that we're aiming to achieve, or is that going to be in the employee handbook?
Is that not like
No,
the vision or mission of the
the employee
organization?
handbook will carry the mission, the vision, just the short vision, the short mission, and the goals. But if it's going to be a detailed one, we're gonna have a separate document for that. Okay, not necessarily in the employee handbook. But the employee handbook should carry the vision of the company, the mission. Yes.
Okay, so then we need to prepare the documents, like the objectives and the goals of the organization. So that needs to be
Yes.
documented as well.
Yes. Yes, it has. All right. So I am having a meeting with the staff. I've met with the owner of the business already to have that discussion and ask the questions. So we're going to be meeting with the staff I think next week. Let's see if it's from Monday or from Wednesday. And I'll just reach out to anybody. If you are free at the time, I'll put you in the call. Okay. So maybe if I'm speaking with one person on Wednesday, I can let maybe Miriam know ahead of time so I can add her to the call so you'll be part of the process. I know Fola rather, you won't be able to do anything till maybe on Saturday. So let's see if you're going to have anyone on Saturday so you can join that call too. Okay? Blessing, I'll need to know your schedule too so I know what day, probably not this week for you, Blessing, the upper week. So I'll know when you're off or something so you can join just one person. Oh, everything is going to be either next week, this coming week, or the upper week. I'm hoping it happens this week. But I'll let you know. So let's see if we can have everybody here join at least one person's session, please. Okay?
Yes.
I will try as much as I
Okay.
can to see if I can have one on Saturday because of Fola. I'll try as much as I can. Let's see if I can have one on a Saturday. But otherwise, I'll let you know anyway. I'll let you know. All right. But I want us to at least join the session with the staff too.
So are we going to just observe, or should we like prepare questions to ask the person? I don't know. How does it work?
I'm expecting that you ask questions, you ask employee questions. Because I'm going to call you. I'm going to say, Praise, do you have any questions for him or do you have any questions for her?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That we'll need to know the person's like job role first.
Yes. I will give you all the details because if Praise is going to join me for the accountant, Miriam will join me for somebody else, like just like that. Blessing will join me for somebody else. So it's not the same rules for everybody, but I'm going to give you the details way beforehand. Once I confirm the date and all, I'll tell everybody. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Also going to be having interviews this week. Should I make it Saturday? No, Saturday is too far. I'm going to be having interviews this week, and I'm going to call almost everybody to be on the same call to interview the person. I'm just going to be there watching it.
Okay.
Yes. So I'll give you, let me confirm. I'll send you the details of the job I'm interviewing for and let you know so you can prepare your questions. So everybody is going to be the panel. I'm just there observing you people. You guys are handling the interview yourselves. Why is Miriam laughing? Why is everybody laughing? I'm just going to be there to see what's happening. Whether it goes well, whether it not goes well, I'll never say a word until it ends. I won't say a word. I'm just there to observe. So yes, we're gonna have that this week too. So this week and next week, will not be able to. This week and next week, aside these things I've already scheduled, the interview and the meeting with the staff. Yes, we're going to be working fully on the policies and everything. So we might not have a session like this, a virtual session. So just going to be WhatsApp policies, making corrections on the policies that people have sent. I'm going to, what's it called? I'm going to divide them. Two persons will work on the same thing. Two persons will work on the same thing. Or maybe as a group, or I just give everybody individual different policies to work on. Yes, I give you, but it's just going to be a lot of back and forth like that. So we might not have a session the coming week for the next 2 weeks, right? Blessing, or is it 3 weeks?
3 weeks, so it's from 15th now, so it's almost 3
to
weeks.
24th. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, we're going to be working fully on this. So if there's going to be a session, a virtual session, I'll let you know beforehand. But as of now, maybe this Saturday, yes, there'll be a session next Saturday. But after next Saturday, for the next 2 weeks, there'll be no session, virtual session. So just going to be a lot of working on the policies and all, working on the policies back and forth. Please, I'll need you people to be. Let me stop it.